Hey, Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be doing the natural minor melodic scale exercise. That is a lot to say. What is that? Why am I doing this? I don't know. So what it is it's an exercise. It's similar to the major scale exercises. So we've gotten into this whole major scale, writing out all these melodies. Now, there's a couple things you could do for this exercise. So I only wrote out a couple, and one of the first three are only phrases. Well, they're not like full-fledged melodies quite yet. And so they're like little 4-bar phrases. What you do is you pick a minor key to work in. So I picked A minor, G minor, E minor, pick something with some flats and something with some sharps, and A flat minor. Let's get crazy. And what I did was I wrote out a little melody. And you can choose to do interval. You can notate all the intervals. That can reveal some really cool stuff if you want to. But the point is, I want you to get familiar with the natural minor's sound, the sound of a minor scale. And so composing with it is like one of the best ways to do it. So come up with some rhythms. A notable rhythm here, if you're not used to this yet, is I'm assuming you know how to read rhythm and stuff. I have a whole course on it if you're interested. But I want you to just note that here we are barring according to the meter. So it's 4/4, and so this would break our meter. So I do not use a dotted quarter note because it would not outline my meter as 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, it is a quarter note tied to an eighth note. And so that's just something important. So here's some examples of what I came up with. Again, don't use key signatures because I want to encourage you to think in the key, get used to thinking in the key. Use key signatures after you're familiar with working in the key. That way, later on, you'll just be way faster. The point here isn't to be incredibly fast. It's to get really familiar with the key to lend you to enormous speed later on. So here's like an A minor one. So A minor, right? Easy, just naturals. So what can we get? And this is diatonic because I'm sticking to notes that are only in A minor. So there you go. Pretty cool. Got this scale deal going on here. A nifty thing. Here's a G minor example. So you might be going, how'd you come up with some of these? The answer, I sat down and went, da na 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 na, or I had a piano. You sit there and you think of something and then you write it down. It's really good practice too. Dictation, that is. So you notice I'm notating my flats. So there's 2 flats, B flat and E flat. And again, to write compelling melodies, a lot of the times you don't want to shift attention. You don't want to keep attention on the beat. You want to shift it slightly off the beat. So this right here is a compelling moment because it's like, oh, you didn't expect that. Even though if you read music, you know what it's going to sound like. Your brain, there's some aspect of it that's still like, oh, that was unexpected to a degree. If you were just listening blind, it'd be really unexpected. Here's another one. I decided to switch the meter to 3/8 for the heck of it. And here is what it sounds like. Now, with 3/8, the 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's what it should sound like, right? So there could be an argument for 6/8 here. It would change the feel of the melody. So this is like an interpretation thing because of how the meter would impact the melody. Because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Versus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, where 1 is always the same amount of importance. So this is a great example of one that can repeat, but at the end, so it'd be like da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 or something. I don't know. That was the wrong note at the end, but you get the idea. So a cool thing here, I decided to use this sort of repeating figure. Things like that are cool. Mess with them when you're composing. There's lots of ideas. If you get stuck, go and listen to some music and then try and write something similar. I do that all the time. It always yields really cool results because the more you know, the more you're able to get close to what they did, and you get to the point where you can do what they did. And so I encourage you to start immediately. And then here's the last one. This one is like a full-on melody. Here's what it sounds like. And I confess I could not stay diatonic here. I had to go chromatic. But that was for the sake of my melody, so it was worth it. So if you see moments that you like, I need to go chromatic here, it needs to be there, then cool. But for the large part, please stay diatonic, because I don't want it turning into excuses for not being diatonic. Just write out a diatonic thing. But at the end, if like your progression leads up and it makes complete sense for it to be there, then go ahead and do it. But yeah, so those are just some examples that I've done. I stuck with a repeating phrase again on this one and went through sort of some availability. This really outlines what a minor scale can sound like. So something pretty cool. Each one sort of I tried to capture like a little bit of a different aspect of the way the intervals combine for you. But anyways, this will be included with the workbook in the description down below if you're looking for some examples. But go ahead, write out at least 4 melodies, and I encourage you to go into the ones you wrote for the major and convert them to natural minor scale. Just straight up do the conversion. So just look for anything that's a 3, a 6, or a 7 scale degree. Lower them all a half step and see what it sounds like. And then go ahead and make it look appropriate too. If you get weird notes or rhythms or things, well, your rhythm shouldn't change, but if you get weird notes, go ahead and change everything to make it look appropriate too. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.